If you go according to your soul plan, the route is very simple, very easy, and very smooth.
It's
Because
not
you're
as if
going-
it's not as if nothing goes wrong, because of course life happens. But
Yes.
when life does throw boulders into your path, you kind of can, okay, take it calmly and just go around them, climb
Yes.
over it, it'll be fine. But you find the clashes cause a lot of anxiety.
Yes, yes, of course. See, when when you are going according to your soul plan, you're guided and you're supported also, because there is a support, the universal support, the Akashic support, the Akashic guide support. It is there always. So whatever comes in life, whatever challenges we face, it becomes easier to face them.
Welcome to You Are Guided to Divine, where I'm welcomed by my friend Arpita all the way from Mumbai, and she's going to be sharing with us her wisdom about the Akashic Records. She's a multi-talented teacher and writer who's the author of a book called Turning the Mind Lights On, and she's going to share with us her insights after so many years of practice in which she has helped people develop relationship skills, delve deep into their personal psychology by reading the Akashic Records, and also by being a Grandmaster of Reiki and being an alternative therapist with many gifts at her disposal. So, hi, I'd like to welcome you to this session.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm very glad and honored to be here. Thank you so much.
I have so many questions to ask you, but first I'd like to know, what did I omit in my introduction? I'm sure your introduction was long, so what did I skip? What's something that you think that needs to be included there?
It's absolutely okay, and it's absolutely fine the way you introduced me. I'm very happy. Yes, I am into many other practices as well. You mentioned about Reiki Grandmaster. I'm a Reiki Grandmaster. I started my Reiki journey quite when I was young. It's around 30 years back. So that was the first thing which I stepped into, and the whole spiritual world I started exploring slowly, step by step. So after that, the tarot cards came. So I'm a tarot card reader, alternative therapist in Bach flowers as well. Yes. So, and there are many other modalities like Pendulum Dowsing, Humkara with Haleem, and so on, angel guidance tutor, Switchwords master. So, and it keeps on, of course. Now, recently, I did even automatic writing, channeling. So, all that is a part of, there's a never end or full stop to any kind of learning. It keeps on happening to you. And I'm always excited to, get that wisdom from wherever I can. So, I can implement it not only for myself, for others as well. So, my main is that I love to empower people by teaching them the modalities, what I learn. So I'm basically very good, and I love teaching. So I have many students who come to me, which we learn online or, of course, offline also. But online is now more prominent because after the pandemic, the online classes were like blooming. So yes, so we have online classes on all the modalities which I have mentioned. I teach them all. And Akashic Records is the one modality which I'm more specialized into, because it is my favorite modality, and it has given me an edge everywhere. And I truly believe that, yeah, of course, you require some skills also to be an Akashic Records reader, and that it is what I have, and that is what I can empower people with as well. So Akashic Records is a wonderful, wonderful modality. I have got an Akashic Records Coach Award also 3 years back. Yes. And also I have been entitled with a Nari Shakti Award. That's around 5 years back, I suppose. And yes, so there are titles, there are magazines where I have also given my articles on Akashic Records as well. So this is the way, yeah, this is the way what I am and how I am.
You have so many ways of helping people. And so the first part, I'm going to talk about the rules, tools, and jewels of our practices,
Yes.
because we're colleagues in the world of spiritual practices and helping people and helping to empower people and teaching people. When someone comes to you, what are your parameters? What are your, I could say limits, but I'm going to say, how do you structure your session so that you can help them best without accidentally disempowering them?
Yeah. Okay, so see, basically for Akashic Records, when I'm talking, people come for the reading sessions also. They have their own questions, list of questions prepared, and we have a session which we decide mutually, time and all that, because of course the time zones are also sometimes different. People from different countries approach for a reading session, an Akashic reading session. So there, the time is decided. They have a list of questions to ask, and I usually tell them you can opt for a 30-minute session or a 45-minute session, which is a maximum. It sometimes exceeds to 5-10 minutes more. But yes, this is the way we set the time boundary, time limit. And in that time limit, we interact on Zoom, and the questions are asked, and I take their records reading and I answer them from their records. So this is the one thing. And people who come for learning Akashic Records, I have a regular Akashic Record workshop, which is almost in a month. I do at least 2 Akashic Records workshop. And yes, so, and I also facilitate different timings, suitable so that everybody feels good, because I have students from different countries, so different time zones, different time limits. So sometimes I adjust accordingly for a batch of students, suppose who are coming from US. Of course, there's a separate batch for them. For Indian, there is a separate batch for them. And also there is Akashic Records workshop in 2 languages, that is English and Hindi.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
May I ask you a deeper question around that? So I hear that there's a time parameter that you'd like to help someone when you're doing an active session for them. I'd like to ask you a question a little bit deeper about your, I would say limits, but I mean design parameters about how you help people the best. And one of your rules is that the session goes for about 45 minutes.
Yes.
You could, I believe, talk to that person about their Akashic Records for 24 hours in a row, for 48 hours in a row, for a whole week. Why is it best for them and for you that you have a, half an hour, 45-minute, 1 hour session? Why do you do that?
Yeah, because of course, when we take an Akashic Records reading, it is that, when we access their records, right? So when we access their records, it's like you can stay up, of course, for longer time also. You can stay for 2 hours, you can stay for 3 hours, but usually 45 minutes is more than enough. It's more than enough to get all the details about whatever they are asking. So they come up with some issues. Like I generally even tell beforehand, I tell them, whenever you're coming up with me on a session, take 2 or 3 issues and come up. Don't take like 10 issues and come up, because it would be difficult to download so much of information at one session together. So come up for just 2 issues of yours, 2 or 3 issues, and then we will see how much we can take in that much time, so that I receive the exact information, and you also, I can tell you, and I can help you with the remedies or with the guidance, whatever I'm getting from the records. So it is not just like they're coming with the issue and I tell them, okay, this is the reading, what I've got for them. The remedies are there. The remedies are downloaded. So in 45 minutes, what you can help them, how you can help them, it's not like a limited time, but you can help them immensely actually in 45 minutes. And it's gathered in the right way, because you have the time and space for that.
Some people ask me when they're my client, can't we go on? Can't we do more? And I think, you know what? No, that's not good for you. And it's not good for me. This is enough. And you need to handle what has been given to you, and then take the remedies and move up to the next level. Because if you consider the Akashic Records like the internet, right? Like Google, like, of course, you could Google about rabbits, and you could Google about China, and you could Google about, you could Google about any topic that you wanted, but this is not that.
Yes, exactly. So that's why when you talked about Google, I would love to say this point. Akashic Records is for me like a cosmic Google.
Yes.
So there is a lot of information we can gather, but whatever, whatever information is there, we have to filter it a little bit. So that is the point, and when you filter it, you get the right information also.
I agree. And it's also effective. So Google, it doesn't really matter whether I learn about rabbits or whether I learn about Australia. That doesn't matter. But it matters to me what I learn from my guides and from my Akashic Records, because it's going to change me. It's effective. There's a transformation that you're bringing about, as an alternative therapist and as a healer. And so I find that people who try to present me with 77 questions, it's just out of curiosity rather than out of a willingness to present, I am ready to change. Do you see what I'm saying?
Exactly. See, Akashic Records helps you to transform your life. So, you can go, transformation happens step by step. It doesn't happen like just together, all of a sudden, everything, all the information is given to you. You get confused. There's a lot of confusion. So here we suggest them to come up step by step, work on it, and see what difference is being created in your life.
Yes.
And usually most of the issues, whatever you have, will be connected from, one issue to the other. So if you resolve one, automatically there'll be a difference in your another issue as well.
I agree totally. I think of it as dominoes, those little black plastic dominoes. So if you knock one down, if you knock the right one down, the whole row of dominoes can get knocked down.
Exactly.
But if you started in the middle just because you were curious about that one, you'd be missing this whole row.
Yes, exactly. That's my point. And that is what I tell them and I suggest them. So you go step by step so that it helps you. It is there to help you. So take that help in the right way. You cannot hold water. When a cup is full, the water overflows. So there's no point. The water will overflow. It won't, it will go out of your mind, everything. All that information will be spilled out. So better is to take how much ever you can hold.
And it's more respectful too, because you are asking our guides, angels, ancestors, divine assistants to help us read these Akashic Records. It's a very special moment. It's not just about Googling what's the capital of Bolivia,
Yeah. You can go more deeper. You can go more deeper if you have only some set of questions to answer, because you know what you have to do. And when you are on it, you can go, you have that permission to go deeper and deeper and take up one issue so clearly, and you can present with that remedies and everything. So that helps a lot when you are really taking just 30 minutes or 45 minutes maximum, I would say. That's more than.
Yeah, I agree. So tell us the story of a jewel, which means something beautiful that happened, something that astonished even you. You've been doing this for so many years. But, you still, isn't it delightful that you still get surprised by the information that comes and then what happens? Can you tell us a little success story of something that happened with a client and you were like, that's great. I'm thrilled about that.
Yes, of course. The readings which I have done for many of my clients, a reading which really took me by surprise, and it took me by surprise because it was very instant result, instant transformation that had happened. So there was a particular person who had come to me to read the records of his wife, because the wife and the mother-in-law were not in good terms with each other in the house. They were staying together and they were not in good terms. Like, there used to be constant arguments or fights, and it used to take place in a big way. It was not in a small way, and it used to happen on a daily basis. So the husband came up with me. I took the wife's permission, let me open the records. And when I opened her records, it was like a past life story which had revealed to me a story between the mother-in-law and the daughter-in-law. And it revealed to me what had happened there and why they are not in good terms with each other in the present life. So something had occurred in their past life, and they are carrying that energy in the present life also. And that is why they are literally, when they see each other, the sight of each other itself, it's like really clashes between them. So I just, a remedy came, and I just gave this remedy. So when the remedy was followed, it was just a forgiveness thing which the wife, no, sorry, which the mother-in-law had to do. And when she did it, actually, she realized it. The story was told to her also. She realized it, what had happened. And then she understood that, yes, forgiveness can help. She tried it. And the moment she just asked forgiveness, things started changing. It started changing so quickly. After 3 days, imagine, just after 3 days, I got a call from the person who had asked me to read. He told me there is a shift in my house energies. There is no more fight. I'm living peacefully. This person was not able to come home because of the fights. He used to stay out of house in the office for long hours, thinking that there's no peace in my house. I don't want to go back. And this person is telling that after years and years of doing so many things, there is peace in my house because they are in good terms with each other now.
That's like
They're
a
speaking so
miracle. So
that's
sometimes you use Bach remedies, which are drops. And in this
yes,
case, it sounds like you used a ritual as a remedy. Was it like,
yes,
do you know the Ho'oponopono forgiveness
yes,
prayer? Was it that
yes.
one or was it something else?
Yes, I actually, customized a forgiveness prayer.
Yes.
And I told you just can say this forgiveness prayer because the forgiveness prayer was relating to the story, past
Mm-hmm.
story. So what
Yeah,
had occurred, I
you
just
made it
mentioned
specific.
that,
Yeah.
and then
Mm-hmm.
add, yeah, so be specific and say, I really ask forgiveness for this, what I had done.
Wow. So the karmic levels and the past lives were interacting in this life. And
Yes,
usually in my practice, so I have a rule that the husband could not have asked about the wife's karma
yes,
or the mother-in-law's karma. But in this case, he was the catalyst and the instigator
yes.
to bring about an entire systemic change. So it worked.
Exactly. Yes, it works so, and I was amazed every time. Of course, I'm amazed whenever the remedies are given and when it works. But this time it was so fast,
Yeah.
and I was so happy. I was more at peace. I think that husband who had asked me to read, I was so much at peace, and I really thanked my masters for such a lovely thing. It was such a lovely happening in their house when you find peace. That's a what wonderful thing can happen.
Congratulations. That is a jewel of a story.
Yes,
So I'd
yes,
like to take you forward to your freebie. So the freebie that you're offering is a PDF. It's a
yes.
manual of the Akashic Records. And could you describe it to us? What will people who are watching this video can look at the links below and they can write to you and they can get this PDF. Could you please explain how they
Yes.
could use this?
They can mail me at my mail ID and I would provide them the PDF. And this PDF is about an explanation of what are Akashic Records, the prayer to access the Akashic Records, the process to access the Akashic Records. So everything will be explained. So the basic information about Akashic Records is explained in that PDF.
I think they'll have a really good start. And then if they get stuck, of course, they can come to you for a session. They can contact you for a direct session or to take a class. So how would they contact you to have a direct helping session where you're going to interpret them? How would they contact you for that?
They can contact me, of course, on my mail. My mail ID, I think, will be given. So
You
on my
can say
mail,
it out loud, though. Say it out loud because people might
okay.
be listening to this as a podcast. So go ahead and say it.
Yes. So my mail ID is Arpita Thakkar, ARPITA Arpita Thakkar 123 at gmail.com.
That's easy. That's easy
Yes.
for them to get that. Yeah, that's cool. When you talk about the offering soul reconnection, so that's one of the offerings that you described to me previously. What do you mean by soul reconnection, and how do you think that souls get perhaps disconnected?
It is basically for me, Akashic Records is all about a soul reading. That is, you're reading for a soul. It's not that I'm reading for you as a person, as Shannon. No, I'm reading for a wonderful soul. Yes. So for
Who's
your soul.
inside me? Yeah.
Yes, who is inside you. So we all have soul journeys. right? In the Akashic record, when we are reading the record, it means that we are reading all the journeys made by that particular soul. So what were the journeys where he was stuck? What were the limiting beliefs that he got from the, any of the past lives? What are the journey? What are the karmic patterns that they're still carrying? So it is like the soul was lost somewhere, and through the Akashic records, you get to know where and what happened and how you can reconnect that soul, so that you can, like, it's like aligning the soul with its purpose, aligning the soul with the frequency, with the soul frequency, with the Akashic frequency, and helping the soul to progress, to transform itself. So that is why I felt soul reconnection is actually the title, which we should even mention for the Akashic records. It helps in that.
Definitely, because the soul can get a little bit lost or stuck. Do you see a conflict between the shell of the person, so the Shannon of the person, and the soul? And the soul chose to come into this particular body, this personality, this time and space, these relationships. And sometimes there seems to be a mismatch or not a great fit. Have you noticed this?
Yes, of course, of course. The soul chooses always. The soul chooses and makes a soul plan by itself. It brings down a blueprint of the life it has to, it has chosen for itself. But what happens when the soul enters a body? The body doesn't remember, the mind doesn't remember what was the soul plan. So sometimes what happens, there is a conflict between me and my soul, because my soul has planned something, but if I don't go according to the soul plan, then there is a clash.
Yeah.
So it is like you're taking a route which is not planned by your soul. So the soul wants you to come back to that route, So there is a lot of challenges and difficulties happening on your way, because you're not going according to your soul plan. If you go according to your soul plan, the route is very simple, very easy, and very smooth.
It's not as if nothing goes wrong, because of course life happens. But
yes.
when life does throw boulders into your path, you kind of can, okay, take it calmly and just go around them, climb over it, it'll be fine. But you find the clashes cause a lot of anxiety.
Yes, of course. See, when you are going according to your soul plan, you're guided and you're supported also, because there is a support, the universal support, the Akashic support, the Akashic guide support. It is there always. So whatever comes in life, whatever challenges we face, it becomes easier to face them. If we are not on a soul plan, it is really difficult. We really juggle through things then in a harder way.
I notice in myself, to be honest, to be very transparent with you, that when I'm off kilter, when I'm turning in the wrong direction, my symptoms come up. So I can either have health symptoms, like right now, my throat is giving me a lot of trouble. So maybe I'm not speaking my truth. And also I'm noticing that I'm having compulsions. Like we just had Halloween in America. And so there's all this candy all over, all these sweets. And I'm eating like, oh my gosh, I'm eating a bag full of sweets per day, which yes, because they're there. But it's also, I know that I can feel that, on a good day, I could just ignore it. But there's something, so I can tell that when my compulsions and symptoms go high, when there's trouble, it's my soul trying to act through my body to get me to re-examine what's going on. Does that sound familiar to you?
Yes, absolutely. That's very true. The soul always gives you either, some kind of signals, or somehow some messages. You feel that, this is what I'm doing is not right. This is not what I should be doing. So, there is a guidance, inner guidance, which we say, which the soul gives us. So when we follow it as so we are safe and we are protected always.
One of the tools that you had talked about possibly demonstrating for us was automatic writing, because it's a visual thing that if someone is watching this, they could understand quickly. And that's one of the ways that we can get a quick message from our guides about, for example, in my case, gosh, why am I having these troublesome symptoms? They're so annoying. This isn't what I want to be doing. There must be something wrong. So how would you teach, but I'm just asking for a quick demonstration because I know that you teach long courses on things like this, but what's the first step for someone to learn how to do automatic writing? Would you please demo that for us?
Yes. So it is like automatic writing would be just like, it's like even through the how when we access the records, actually, we are connecting with our record keepers, with our masters, teachers, and guides there. So automatic writing is the same thing, that we are connecting with our masters and teachers there. So in automatic writing, what we need is to connect with them. That is the one thing, that is the one, I would say, thing which you need, a connection, a very strong connection, that whenever you just have something in mind, you can close your eyes and connect very easily.
So please give me the step by step. So here I have a piece of paper and I have a pen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And so like I have done some automatic writing, but I would love to know how you would teach me how to do it. So here's a blank piece of paper and here's a pen. So what is automatic writing? Why should I do this? I get it. I should reconnect, but and what? Here's paper, here's pen. What should I do?
See, it is in automatic writing, there is energy, there's an energy attunement also which happens. So with that attunement process, it becomes easier for you, and a link is given to you that you can connect with your guides in this way. For example, now I would, so I can say, close your eyes, keep a book and a pen ready. And as you close your eyes, visualize, first there is a grounding process. So visualize that you are being grounded. Visualize that you are being grounded. That is, visualize that there are roots coming out from the sole of your feet, and which is penetrating into the Mother Earth and giving you a very, very good grounding. When you're grounded, you're always safe and protected and supported by the Mother Earth. Now from there, take the grounding energies, Mother Earth's blessings, and feel that your consciousness is coming up. And as it is coming up, let it rise above and let it reach near your heart center. Feel that your heart energies are expanding beautifully. Let these energies flow up to your crown chakra, and from there, let it flow like a fountain covering your entire body. Believe that this is your protection shield around you, the energy which is protecting you. Now you're grounded and you're shielded. So now when you close your eyes, put this intention, hold this intention in your mind with whomever you want to connect. It could be your favorite deity whom you're connected. It could be a spirit guide whom you know. It could be even your loved one whom you know, who has passed away. So just hold this intention. I want to connect with, mention with whom you want to connect. Believe that now your miniature image is on top of your head, that is on the crown chakra. And see, with this miniature image is coming out from the crown chakra and going up into the spirit world. It's rising up and up. As it is rising up, hold this intention. Keep on holding and saying this intention. You want to connect with whom you want to connect. You can even chant some mantras as you're going up. That will help you to reach the right place. You can chant just the mantra of Om, 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 Om as you go up. Once you're up, feel safe and be relaxed. And just tell whomever you want to connect, see them and visualize them in front of you. Now you can start asking your questions. You can start taking guidance from them by saying whatever you need guidance for. If I'm bringing a deity in front of me, say my Lord Shiva, I visualize him in front of me and I ask for whatever I need guidance. And I receive those answers. After completing, I thank them. I see them go away and I see myself coming down from the spirit world, coming back to my crown, coming back to my heart space. And then I cut the cords and I say thank you to the entire universe, to all my masters, teachers, guides, to whomever you can thank. I express my gratitude. And that is how I receive the guidance. Of course, when you're up, you can start writing whenever you're receiving whatever guidance you're getting.
It is so beautiful, Arpita. And I'm sure that people can listen to your calming, meditative, healing voice, just taking that clip and playing it over and over for them. You've given us a beautiful gift. I'd like to share my writing with you. So I did a drawing, and I expected to write words, and I did not. So I know that my soul is trying to speak to me in symbols.
Yes.
And
It's almost like an intuitive sign, actually.
Yeah, I do see so. So what my immediate interpretation is that I'm drawing the infinity symbol, this,
Yes.
and then I'm seeing perhaps that's me, or perhaps that's my soul, a center piece right there. And I got such a feeling of, well, first of all, your voice is very calming and very healing. So I felt very relaxed and grounded. Thank you. But I noticed that the little things that are troubling me are kind of nothing in the big picture. So I got this, my hand was going across the page like it's infinity. And so I got this, stop worrying about it because it's not really that big of a deal.
Yeah, of course it gets with practice. Sometimes before you whenever you are doing this writing, it doesn't come up in words, but it would come up like a drawing, or you're putting an image or something, but slowly the words comes up, and then it becomes very clear, and you're able to write it well then afterwards.
Certainly, yes. And I've also heard of people changing hands, and I've done that. So I put the pen in my other hand and I write, and of course it's harder to read, and it's usually only one word, but it could be an interesting word, a message.
Yes, absolutely.
May I please return the favor? May I please do a short reading for you using my cards?
Of course, I'm so grateful. Thank you so much.
It's such a pleasure for us in this series to meet with colleagues, to meet with people who have practiced for such a long time, who care about the same kinds of things that we care about. It's a real delight.
Thank you.
So these cards that I designed, they have urban symbols on them because we live in big cities these days. So it could be red light, green light, signs that you would recognize. And I designed them because sometimes tarot and other symbolism, it can be a little bit too European for our worldwide audience. And also it can be a bit esoteric and difficult. You have to have many years of experience. So I designed it to just be like things that we can recognize. Birds. And
these are wonderful cards, really wonderful.
I think they're easy. I tried to make them easy, but also meaningful. So so I put them on Amazon and stuff. But you had a question about your practice. So you sent it to me, and how did you phrase it? You said, if I continue on this path of healing, well, I'm sure you are going to continue on this path of healing, but it's kind of like, what's my next step over the next couple of years? That's how I understood it. How would you like to phrase it?
Yes, I would love to know what is the after 3 years, like where do I stand? How do I stand if I continue this practice?
So, it crosses a little bit towards fortune telling, as if things are written in stone, which of course we cannot say, but we can say, which direction should I go? And in 3 years' time, which vision should I hold for myself in 3 years' time? What are the elements? What are the important elements of that vision? How will I know that I'm on the right track? What should I look out for? Because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, much less in 3 years' time. But let's say that you become even stronger in your practice, because I know you're a very serious person. You know what you're doing. You're expanding all the time. You're reaching more and more people internationally. So let's take it like that. Let's take it. What should I look for, and how can I expand over the next 3 years? Can I edit it slightly like that? Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you. So I'm shuffling as I'm talking to you, and then I'm lowering the camera so that you can see my hands on the table. And I knock 3 times so that we know that it's Arpita's question rather than Shannon's question. And then I break the deck like this, and I see that 3 cards are coming out. So we'll take these 3 cards as our answers. Okay. Often it's just one card, but I think your question is deep and broad. So let's take these three. Okay. This is the first one. It is a no parking symbol. Don't park your car. And it's saying, keep moving. Don't stop. Stay motivated. Don't rest. Work harder. Get more done. Don't take a break right now.
Okay.
So
Good,
this is
good.
it's okay. So how would you like to interpret that for yourself with relation to your question?
Yes, of course, it is exactly. Yeah, I should keep myself motivated always, because sometimes I need a push always, to go that further, one step ahead. Yes, of course, I understood very well.
It was
And
pretty clear, kind of
very,
obvious. Yeah.
yes.
I mean, I know we do need to take small breaks. We do need to go on holiday.
Yeah.
We do, but it's not the
Yes.
time to retire. You're
Yes.
not ready
Yes,
to
of
retire.
course, because there's a long way to go still.
Oh,
Everybody
definitely.
has a long way to go in this, uh, especially in the, if I say, in the spiritual work, if you're doing, there's never a full stop. There's no retirement. You cannot say that now I've done my job, you're always moving on that path. If you have chosen that path, especially if that is your life purpose, soul's purpose, you have to keep on moving.
And yet your guides gave you three cards, and the cards will kind of combine to make a message. And the second card, the first card was, okay, keep on hustling. But the second card was about electricity, the electrical box that you see on the street where all the wires come together. And this one
Yes.
says, beware, meter this problem, measure it, see how dangerous it is. Now turn around and avoid it. So some electrical, spiritual electricity is trying to zap you. But
Okay.
it's as if it's not you, and it's not in your house. It's something that you would bump into out in the world. So it's, when you're walking on the street and then you see one of those cables and it's fallen down, but it's live, it's sparking.
Yes. Yes.
Turn around and avoid that. You don't have to say this on air. You don't have to say this for us to know. But when does electrical danger, energetic danger come into your life? And when are you, oh, maybe I could help them. Maybe I could save them. But actually, you're putting yourself at risk energetically.
Yeah.
So do you get that your masters are giving you permission to
Yes.
turn around and say, I don't have to save everybody.
Yes, that's good. That's a good thing to know. Yes, of course.
Sometimes things are harmful to us, and it's not our calling to assist everything.
Yes, it's not our calling. Correct.
And the last one is, just because you can help someone doesn't mean that you should help. Should you jump into the ocean to save someone from drowning if there's a current and if you actually are not that good of a swimmer? No. Okay. So the last one is an interesting one. It's a fire engine, and it's about preparation. As firefighters always must be prepared. They must always be ready to jump into the truck anytime there's a fire. Be ready for upcoming challenges and disasters. Get it all prepared now. Know where all of your important things are. For me, whenever I get this card, and I have gotten this card before, I find my passport. I'm like, where is that? Okay, where is it? Is it updated? Okay, do I have all my visas and stuff that I need? So this is not necessarily that something bad is going to happen, but it's get your stuff together. If you've, over the course of these not traveling very much times, if you've let your paperwork kind of go into different parts of the house, it's time to update and organize it. So I'll ask you, is your passport up to date?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yes.
It's still valid. You could travel.
Yes.
Because this can also be if there was an invitation that came to you, that you would be invited to go to the UK next week. So then you'd say, okay, I'm ready to go. I'm prepared.
Yes, exactly. No, so that is done. That is done from my side.
Oh.
But yes, I would take it as preparation in terms of there are many things which you need to gather, many resources, right? It's not only about the passport thing, of course, it's about the other resources which might be doesn't come to you right now, but when the moment clicks, it would happen that, oh, I don't have this. I should have.
It could be for your coursework. It could be that you've
be
had these. Tell me about it. I have these courses in development. I've had them in development for such a long time. And okay, I've got to get them together so that I can publish them and make them available.
Yes, yes. So
Do you,
yeah, I get
do you
this
have
point.
another book? Do you have another book that you're working on?
It's in my mind. It's not come out yet. I'm working here in my mind.
So yeah, things that can be brought out, things that can be brought together, things that can be organized because
Yes,
of sudden and upcoming disasters, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a tragic disaster. It can be an
yes.
opportunity or a challenge.
Yes, I do believe, and I take it in a positive way,
I
that
think so too.
opportunities would come and I should be ready. That time I shouldn't be, when the opportunity comes, it shouldn't be, oh, I don't have this, or, I'm missing out this. I should be ready and prepared always with the resources I have, because I do take it in that way.
I do too.
Thank,
And also remember that you asked for a 3-year parameter, right?
yes,
You
yes,
didn't ask for by tomorrow afternoon. So it doesn't mean
yes,
that you have to run around the house now. It means
yeah,
what can I do to make the most of my next 3 years
yes,
professionally? And so
yes,
it's like, okay, all right, keep
yes,
hustling,
yes,
avoid the big energy traps, and then get prepared. Would you
yes.
like to leave us with a quote or a blessing or a prayer, a word, something that is meaningful to you?
Yes, I would do, I would just get a message for all whenever they see this. So I would get an Akashic message from my masters for all, and let me, just connect with the records and get that message for everyone, for the benefit of
Wow.
all, for the good of all.
Oh, thank you. That's even more than I expected. I thought you were just going to share with us your favorite quote, but please, do do what you do so well.
Yeah, it was just in this, this was also guided just right now. So yes, I have given you a quote, but yes, this is what is coming up to me, that give a message from them directly. Okay, so just give me a moment to connect.
Yes, ma'am.
So it is a general message. This is not relating to any particular person or something. This is a general message coming from my masters for all. They are saying life is full of challenges. Life is not a disaster. Don't take it in that way, which many people in the world are, feeling that life is a hell. Life is beautiful. You just need to open your mind. You just need to open your heart to those beautiful and lovely things what you can see, instead of seeing what is negative and carrying that effect then in your mind and in your heart. It is how you see that you get in return. So even when you meet someone whom you don't like, who is a negative person according to you, try to see the positiveness in that negative person. You will understand this concept in that way, because you have, as a soul, you have to learn positive in a negative situation. You have to learn that. And that is how you can make your life more beautiful. And then you can say, life is not a disaster, life is not a hell. Life is beautiful. It just depends on how you see and what you take from life.
Thank you to your masters for coming through.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for
Thank you, my
sharing that
masters. It was
beautiful
just the
message.
flow of words. I was not aware of how I was speaking, what I was speaking, but it was just that flow, which I get usually. And the words are always like, just coming to me, just like that, downloading, and the same thing what I say, the words, it's the same. Yeah.
Later, when you watch the clip, you'll be very happy with it. It's really wonderful. There's every year the dictionary puts new words in that have become popular from the newspapers over the past year or two. And the most recent word that was added to the dictionary, I believe it was the Collins Dictionary, was permacrisis. So people are believing that they're in a state of permacrisis because of war, poverty, devastation around the world, natural disasters, and the climate crisis. So permacrisis is a state that's very difficult for the nervous system to handle. And I believe your masters are trying to get us to acknowledge that there are challenges in the world, and there always will be, but that we ourselves do not have to constantly engage with that state of panic, but be empowered to do justice where and when we can, but also to keep ourselves in gratitude and in recognition of what is beautiful.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
With much respect, I thank you for sharing your talents, gifts, and your life path with us. I wish you the very best in these next 3 years and in the next 300 years.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I thank you for inviting me on your platform. It was such a wonderful thing for me, and I really loved how it went on. And, I really loved being here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Arpita. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
See you. Bye.